you? Welcome on in. It's so good to see you. Happy full moon in my moon sign. As a Piscean moon, how are you? How we feels? Here where I'm at on the east coast of the US, we're supposed to see a good bit. However, where I'm at, we got thunderstorms that'll hopefully clear out so I can see something when I go out and go moon gazing here in a little bit. How are you, everybody? How are you? Before we start stream tonight, we are going to do a little bit of a graduation ceremony together. But before we get into that, I want to say hello. Louise wins the prize. You were here super early, my friend. How are you doing? I was going to say, it seemed like you were chugging right along there. How are you doing? And this is why. Deadline for December. And yeah, a lot of us are going, oh, wait. Preparing for Christmas sales and marketing is, if you're not doing it over the next few weeks, you gotta. That's what everyone keeps telling me. And I'm like, okay, time to get a little further ahead than I thought I was. Does dare apply. I'm currently dealing with shadow ban, apparently, and I know like it. Somebody messaged me and said, Jenna, I just saw a Facebook post you made a week ago. And I'm like, that's not good. That's so not good. So it's time to fix those issues we're having too. Lainey, hello. Reading your book 2 to make sure book 3 makes sense. Love this. Glad to have you here for. Miranda, how are you doing? Saw your post about, it looked like your mini Kanban board. Congratulations. Havrin, hello. How are you doing? Mars, hello. You'll be listening to the audiobook tonight. The ending writes itself, and sometimes it really does. Even if it feels like it takes forever, sometimes the ending of some books do write themselves. So if you want to join the Reading Expressway as a sprinter, or you know some sprinters who would love to collaboratively host, do check out and share the news. This is a can we make this happen in a short amount of time kind of thing. Then, of course, Take Back the Veil, a virtual vendor market, does have openings for a few more days if you want to join in there. And if you want to join us for the graduation journals that we're doing, kind of as like a little bit of a graduation self-ceremony tonight, go ahead and feel free to click-a. If you're on Twitch and you need the links reshared, do let me know. Or if you are over on YouTube and are feeling the need to get those links again because they didn't show up. Oh, no! I'm sorry. It did its thing for the third time. I wondered if it was giving you all the buffers. Who was it Mal Cooper's live stream? And then somebody else's live stream. I was trying to just listen in earlier, and it would not load until I had to go see the replays. So do feel welcome to let me know if you're having too terribly many issues. And I don't mind getting some links to otherwhere for you all once we get past here. Charlie, hello. The link for the doc works. Thanks for confirming there, Miranda. So, before you start, let's read the directions before we do the thing, everybody. As I used to tell my students, read the directions. It might make the assignment easier. So, before you start, take some time to answer the journal prompts below. You can type them or dictate them, though I do suggest printing them once you've done either of those things. Of course, if you're like me and leaning into maybe printing them in handwriting on it, or maybe just putting it on like paper and handwriting to begin with. Whichever combination therein is welcome. Once you're finished answering your questions, though, and printing them and getting a hold of a physical copy that's done in your hands, fold the pages away from you. However many times you like, just keep in mind, you're going to shove this to sit under a glass of water. Planting them under a glass of water and leaving them sit overnight can do multiple things. The water kind of does its energy osmosis, as I heard another priestess in a class I took a while back call it. I'm like, I like that. That makes sense to me. So essentially it funnels out the negative, funnels out the good into the room, absorbs the bad. And I said, okay, just like how in science class, water is a solvent, It's doing the same thing here in the witchy woo woo spaces. Liking this so much. So notice some of the questions here. Look at the bad. Some of the questions below will look at the good. Keep that in mind. If you feel called to lean one way or another, don't fight it. It's your graduation. You get to say what you want to say about it in this regard. So you'll leave it sit overnight underneath the water. I'm going to leave it sit here in my office for a reason. There's some funky energy that I need to deal with in this office right now. And some of you are like, yes, I'll agree with that. So the next morning, the first time you come into that room, throw the paper away in the trash can, and you can use the water to dispose of however you like. I have some plants outside. I'll probably go give it to them. Even though it just rained tonight, I'll still probably go give it to them. Or if you want to use it in your compost heap, if you use a moist compost kind of method, or if you just want to flush it down the toilet because some energy deserves to be flushed away. So let what works and makes sense. If you want to drink it, just remember, eventually it's going to come out this end, and that energy will have to deal with whatever your bottom end does to stuff, okay? Just a heads up there. So use that how you will. Ron, hello, good to see you. So I would like to invite you to join me on the journaling prompts for the first sprint, at least. So what is one major obstacle you overcame during your studies, quote unquote, your studies? In this case, your homework was your business, okay? That completely changed how you view yourself. What was something you learned about doing the thing with what you do that you overcame, for better or for worse? Because sometimes you can overcome something and it makes a bigger mess. You got to clean up that bigger mess. We all know how cleaning a cabinet can happen. You rearrange one shelf, and then before you know it, you're rearranging the whole kitchen. Question 2, or whatever order you want to do it in. It's just the second question here. What is some area of your life that is transformed without you realizing it? That might be a good one to ask a close friend or family member. Has something changed since Christmas? You'll get answers. You'll get answers if you're not sure. But ask somebody you can trust to be honest without hurting you. Does apply. Third question listed. What are you releasing that might be something worth not pursuing until maybe you're just delaying it, or indefinitely delaying it / delegating it? Delaying it does not mean you have to be the one to do it. Okay? And then, of course, what celebrations do you want to proclaim the loudest? Okay? I have a feeling some of you might start at the most obvious. I put it last for a reason. Put the icing on the cake. Sometimes you got to cover that there are some lumps and bumps on your cake. That's why I put the best question for last. Hello, Heather. Good to see you. How are you? How are you? So, enjoy the journaling. If you want to do candles on top of this, because you enjoy candles for mood or for other reasons, feel welcome. A good drink would be good for this too. So, just in honor of this full moon, let's do a little bit of a self-graduation ceremony, okay? On that note, I'm going to go ahead and switch us. Stop that screen. We do need a bit. Let's do a bonfire tonight. That feels a little fitting for the full moon. Oh, speaking of bonfires. Dear Divine, us Gen Xers and Millennials would like you to stop picking on the good celebrities. We know you need their help, but we kind of need some of them too. After yesterday and the day before, really? You took more? To my fellow Gen Xers and Millennials, my 80s and 90s kids, be more like Optimus Prime. care about everybody. Care about everybody. For sure, for sure. I can definitely go ahead and get you all that copy link right quick, my friendos. Thank you for letting me know to reshare there, Ron. I appreciate you so much. So, in 30 minutes, enjoy. You can do this. Roll out. How did it go, everybody? I have about 500 words of this chapter to edit. For me, it's going swimmingly. And then I'll finish that in the next sprint. Probably take a break during number 3, and then I have a client edit I'm going to do at least one chapter of to ease my way into and probably finish it by this time next week. It's a lovely read. So on that note, I remembered I didn't draw cards. So Cute Cat Tarot is where we're going tonight. We would like one card, please. We would like one card, please. So shiny. Every time I use this deck, the foil on the side of it, I can put it a little closer. There it goes. You can kind of see it. There it is. You can see the shiny. The rainbow effect of it all makes me go, whoa. So I have literally caught myself with this deck just going and shuffling. And shuffling because I'm staring at the shiny. Whoever made this deck kind of knew what they were doing in that regard. So is that one card? Yeah, it is. Wow. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Yeah, success, joy, celebration. Such a really good card. We were celebrating things with our graduation prompts tonight. How fitting, how fitting. Very much so. Every single time the sun card pops up. Doesn't matter what deck it pops up in. The baddie coda that lives in my brain, immediately that's the song that kicks up. So... how are you? How are you? Let's see. Missed the questions. That's something I needed to know. Thank you, actually. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the calendar, November 5th. And if you need the questions, y'all, that we did at the start, you're welcome to go ahead and join. I'm going to find November 5th. Haha, that's a Thursday night. Love it. Thank you for that note. That's a Thursday night. Now I know to definitely do a bonfire that night. Thank you. Tomorrow we are doing an induction ceremony. So if we graduated from our last chapter, we're going to go into the next one with an induction. Ron, what is one major obstacle you overcame during your studies? You committed to your 100 words a day to finish your first novel. Yes. Sometimes all it takes is just 100 words a day. I have 500 words per sprint. That is my minimum average. No, I didn't notice I didn't say minimum goal every time. That's my minimum average. If I shoot for approximately 500 words in 25 to 30 minutes, I know a couple of sprints add up quickly. Same thing here. Whatever your minimums are, they add up faster than you've ever given yourself credit. What is some area of life that's transformed? Committing to a relationship. Congratulations. I hope it's very beneficial. And then, of course, might be something worth not pursuing. Finding love. Well, you know what? This is one of those things of that phrase of absence makes the heart grow fonder. Especially during this time of year, there's so much going on. Enjoy company when you can. And then, of course, finishing your second novel. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. Pasqua, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? Louise had dinner and read a bit. Congratulations. Well done. Hello, ma'am. Come on. Speaking of, here comes the sun. Finished editing a scene, editing 2 books. When you work on one and then you can't stand it for another minute, you edit the other. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. It is normal. I can attest it is normal. I technically have a second pen name that I'm currently editing a book for that one, while finishing the book that comes out in October under this pen name. Hopefully, if you worked at any office job, or like me as a teacher, or even when we were students, we often had multiple project deadlines overlap then, and some of us were really able to manage it. If you have that skill, don't be afraid to use it. Don't be afraid to use it. Hey, how you doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya over on the Twitch lands. Heather's doing your planner and your notes for the webinar that you took. Whoa, nice. Which webinar, might I ask? Miranda, no writing for you tonight. You finished the last drafted, typed up, and uploaded to Google Docs. Woo-hoo. And now you're packing for your week-long Graham's visit. Yay. This is one of the best things ever. Seeing you become a grandmother and loving it so much over the last couple years has been a joy. Bus trip is going to be totally worth it, though. Totally worth it. You're going to get a lot done in the reading department, I imagine, in the 9 hours. Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm sure with the collection of books you've mentioned over the last few years, I'm sure you've got a couple in mind. A book to read, your phone charger and earbuds have been charged also, and your binder for your own book. Nice choice. Miranda, you have at least 3 different series in various spots. This. I just started drafting another whole new series, not even related to this series at all. And I'm loving it and just enjoying being in the bare bones basics of actually a couple new series again lately has been a breath of fresh air. So I feel this. Yes, I was wondering how you were doing up your way. We had Mother Nature decide to let, say, the garden hose go loose back in my backyard for a while with the rain. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to stream for a little bit due to the really nasty storm earlier, because we didn't have like lightning strike trees that I'm aware of. The wind got bad enough, though, that several branches failed their strength test, if that also makes sense. Not near houses, but enough to take out a pole here or there. Thankfully, not around here. Like, on my grid, but grids around us. Linda, hello! How are you doing? We're, I think, just about to go into, yes, sprint number 2. So glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. If you want to use the journal that we started with as a journaling prompt for the night, because you've had a busy day, it should be pinned there on the YouTube end. You took an EFA. I wondered, yes, accessibility in children's books. As someone who's trained in how to diagnose and treat dyslexia, these courses matter. Even if you yourself are not publishing in the younger ages for consumption, a course on accessibility for readers of every age who have dyslexia should be in your professional development. You might come to understand your reader more, is why I suggest that. So thank you for mentioning that. You even posted about it just after it ended. Love it. Heather, your weather has been anything goes, and you guys have a hurricane named Dolly potentially coming your way. I kid you not. The last I checked, it was a tropical depression, tropical storm. And I'm like, they pick these things multiple years in advance so they make sure they don't repeat the names too often. Come on. One portion of, yes, nice. I'm glad they covered this, because it's not just about text choices. It can be about word choices. And I've had to break some children's authors' hearts on their word choices, because they're picking words that phonemically are too big for the kids to be able to handle for certain age groups too. I can always tell my authors who either A, had children themselves, B, spend a lot of time around children for various XYZ reason, or C, don't spend much time around kids because of they're putting words that are way too big in like little kids books. It's like, wait a minute, I don't even know if mom and dad could say some of those words you're putting in there. Be careful. Know your audience. Know your audience. And I have a nephew within my circle who's just now going to elementary school. I've seen the gambits on his library, and I'm like, no wonder he likes certain books over others at this age. Yes, it is short, but it's like a third grade reading level, and you're trying to read it to a pre-K. Not going to work. So, yes. Dolly is a good name. Yes, but they don't pick these names recent. There's a list. I want to say it's like 4, 5, 6 years they work in advance on this list. So that way they don't repeat the same, like how some of us authors like to pick the same names again and again and again and again. It's kind of a little bit of a safeguard against that. So they would have picked the name of the D Storm a couple years ago for this year. They normally release that list every couple of years as like not really a marketing thing, but kind of your major weather outlets will talk about it. And it's just, I think the name Dolly was used for some sort of storm somewhere the year she was born, somebody said. And then right as she passes, there's another one. I went, yep, only Dolly Parton. Only Dolly Parton. How fitting. And I saw a post of someone saying that she is a real true embodiment of a lot of dark feminine traits. And I'm like, yeah, she kind of is. She good peoples in a lot of circles do agree on that. But dang, she will lay you out verbally and not think twice about it if you need it too. And she's so nice about it. You can't hate her half the time or for long. So, yeah. She was a little whirling dervish of Appalachian amazing magic that I think we were all kind of fortunate to learn from her on how to be a decent human. If Dolly Parton's general treatment of most people is considered basis for decent humanity, I think we're doing a lot better than we give ourselves credit for. On that note, see you all here in 30 minutes. Hi, Kiki. All right, everybody. Oof. There we go. That's a better button. How are you? How are you? How did it go, everybody? I finished the chapter I needed to work on for me for that project. So during sprint number 3, I'm going to go rot my brain. Probably on some videos about speedrunning stuff for video games because I feel like it. How are you? How are you? Let's see. I got to tilt the screen a little bit there. Now I can actually see. There isn't a glare. Ron, didn't know they picked it so far in advance. Yeah, I got curious, and according to the National Hurricane Center here in the U.S., there's the source if you would like. They have the next 6 years already plotted out. So they do release, like, this season's storms are correct, but there is an ongoing list. Dolly's music. Dolly's music touched so many because a lot of people know what it's like to start from nothing and be nobody from nowhere. I mean, she is an Appalachian sweetheart for that regard. I say that as someone who grew up in Appalachia. So Heather is, if you're remembering correctly, yeah, they came out just before hurricane season of this year's. This is what hurt. This year, watching Christmas movies this year is going to be rough. I feel really badly for anybody who worked on the set of Home Alone 2 because, yeah, Catherine and Tim. That Christmas is going to feel weird for some people, and rightly so. Rightly so. I mean, I grew up with Tim Curry's voice all over the place because he's one of those actors who was like, let me randomly go do this voiceover project because I feel like it. I mean, he's so many animated characters that I'm like, wait a minute, what? And speaking of animated, for those of you who may not have known, Peter Cullen of Optimus Prime and other fame, Eeyore. Yeah. Yeah, stop picking on my childhood, thanks. Yay for the packing! Now switching to reading paperback. You're going to the city in the morning and then get dropped off at your son's for an overnight visit and leave Saturday morning. So it's a quick out and back kind of deal, question mark. Lori edited several paragraphs, erased words, added words. Yay! Hey, missed what you might have said about editing 2 books at the same time. If you can do it, do it. Some of us have that project balancing skill from previous arenas of our lives. I have it as a student perpetually. Just going to own it. I'm probably going to figure out a way to be a scholar forever in my life. So as a student, and then a lot of us who work in education or just in jobs where you're balancing multiple projects at once, if you have that skill, use it. Don't burn out. Don't misalign yourself, which is worse than burnout, but definitely so. If you can handle it, do it. I have a book that's about to come out under this pen name, and I'm also editing a book under another pen name for myself. Plus, later tonight, I'm working on a client edit. I enjoy editing, though. Virgo, keep that in mind. My brain, as an editor, equates this to what math people must feel about the game Number Munchers. Nom, 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 nom. That's how I feel. So, I enjoy editing, though. Always have. And it's just my brain. It comes in, yeah, we've already had more than 3 this month. We're up to like 6+, sweetie. We've already done 2 rounds of 3s. I know 369 is a method. I don't want to go that high, and it probably is going to reach that high. Because, yeah, since the 17th, we've had Hayden Panettiere, Tim Curry, Dolly Parton, Peter Cullen, Samuel Monroe Jr. Am I remembering that correct? Yeah, Samuel Monroe Jr., who did a lot of African American entertainment type threads, so he might not be as well known in as many circles as other people listed. Same with Peter Cullen, I'll admit that. But yeah, he passed away. Let's see, who else? Celebrities. There's one TV outlet that has an ongoing list they do every year of people. And I forget which one it was. But yeah, we're up to 6+. That rule of 3 has, yeah. Don't tell my music brain that. It's been hurt enough this week. I'm sorry. Music lovers of the world all just went, pick on another media outlet, please. And all the actors are going, no. We've had our fair share too. Oh man. That's Peter Cullen. I adore him for one reason. I always ended up teaching the delinquents nobody wanted, and that's my students saying it that way, not me. And to those kids, I'm tired of getting in trouble for being the kid who talks too much in class. Have you heard of a dude named Peter Cullen? How about Frank Welker? If you don't know who they are, they're Optimus and Megatron. I bet they behaved in school right about the same way you did. Because I'm tired of those kids being told there's no future from them, while my whole childhood is full of earworms from people, men and women, who were just like him, because Dolly wasn't the greatest student either. And she was usually the first person to admit that. But she wasn't afraid to learn. That's the key. So, yeah. I was out in the middle of peopling and took a moment and into social media, and that popped up as soon as I opened social media in the middle of a grocery store. I was not a fan of finding out that news right then, because I'm like, is this a joke? Because I grew up in the era of celebrity death hoaxes. Pardon my French, YouTube, that's what they're called. So, I am to the point of we've had so many that I'm like, okay, is this real? I don't believe TMZ. Great, everybody else is saying it. To let you clarify, taking the bus to Alberta Saturday morning. Gotcha. So it is a kind of a shortish stay. You're not going for like a week or more, I meant. Yeah. She's not much younger than I am. So that gave me that level of a wake-up call of, chick, you ain't much older than she is. And that's why I don't always believe TMZ is the first share and always double check. If everybody else is saying it, it's likely true. Notice if I see someone share TMZ, I'll go to Google, and if everyone else on Google confirmed, and it's still true 5-10 minutes later without a correction redaction. Yeah, TMZ usually isn't right. However, when they copy other people who do get it right, they usually get it right. Eventually. But yes, on that note, a very much needed self-care, soul-care break. Go listen to some good music, y'all. Go listen to some good music. Here we go. All right. How are you? How are you? I have about half of this chapter kind of goose and gandered. Whoa, there you go. Took a goose and a gander through it, as my grandmother used to say. That was her old way of saying, I'm just sitting here looking through it, seeing what's ahead, not really doing anything, kind of skimming. So, how are you doing? How are you doing? I'll be working on getting this edit goal for the client items done tonight during the next sprint. So that way, during sprint 5, I can get new words for me. I plan on being here for a bit. So if you're just joining in, feel welcome to stay in as long as you are. If you're on the replay, how are you guys? How are you guys, gals and pals, doing? But yeah, I plan on trying to catch the new moon before I go, or the full moon before I go to bed here around midnight plus or minus shortly thereafter. So we're here at least for another hour and change, at least 1 or 2 more sprints. Maybe a wrap-up wind down on the 3rd. We shall see. Because we've been chatty, and that's okay. How are you? I thought I heard Loki scratching, so I might have to step aside and let her in. Yeah, too many. Yes. It was just brought to my attention that actually we've lost a total of 3 from the Home Alone cast. I had said earlier, Catherine and Tim. The lady who played the bird lady, she also played a foster mom in Angels in the Outfield, Brenda. She passed away earlier this year. So all hopes Macaulay ever had of maybe getting the band back together, unfortunately, have... Somebody please check on Macaulay Culkin right about now, please. Thanks. Andy, hello. How are you? So I do like to ask the questions and get some answers, as a fellow redhead does dare say, even though I am not as red at the moment. Anyway, Ron asks, if you can indulge, certainly will, and I'll give a better explanation than my chat answer box. So what song has inspired you when you need it? There's one song that came into my life circa 2000. When did April Rain come out as an album? Let me check that. Was that in 2009? Yes, it was. So the album that this song is from, you guys seen it on my wrist a lot without even realizing what it means necessarily. Control the Storm is a song title from that track. And a couple years into the band named Elaine, kind of doing their social media, one of their fun posts prior to tour often was, we're getting ready to go on tour. Do you have any tour tattoos? Any tattoos we should look out for in the audience? Kind of like a fun getting to know the audience engagement thing. And explain why you keep that song, that lyric, that reference on you. And I had posted, rather new at the time. Mind you, I did not yet at the time have the semicolon or the quill. This came much later. All I had was just the words Control the Storm. Mind you, I had lost my father. I had lost the bookend to my siblings. I'm the youngest. I had lost the eldest child. He was the glue and the friend of all the 4 kids below us. So when we lost him, we all lost the sibling we were closest with, put it that way, because that was his persona. And this song drove me to write. The lyrics are, there's an error in my Genesis, ha 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 ha, Jenna, ha 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 ha, Genesis, origin. But also, I'm not anything like the rest of my family. And that was something my father and my brother George always reminded me was a good thing. Unlike other family members who treated it like a bad thing, they said, you ain't like us. There's an error in my Genesis. And I think I can control the storm. I really can't, but dang it, I'm going to try, because if I don't try, it is going to destroy me in multiple senses of the word. So, control the storm. You have one way that you know you can control things when your life gets bad, Jenna. And that's why the quill came years later. At the concert that I saw Charlotte at on that tour, when I had met her after the show and had a chance to talk to her, I said, by the way, and kind of, you are to flash the tattoos and show off the tattoos to see if you will, to see if they remembered you from, because it was a busy post. And all this woman says is, oh, you're the writer. Mind you, this was long before I ever bothered to publish my own book. Like 5 to 6 years before. Now every time I look at that tattoo, what do I hear in my head? Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. It's why she is the character Rochelle in my books. I had to give that love back. So now that you've had the long version and there is a cat at the door, Andy, hello. Rest well. Kiki, are you coming in to join? Your chair awaits, madam. For now. Yes. I will warn you, if you listen to the earworm, I forgot to warn you in chat. It's a little metal. The co-singer on the track, Marco, he's from the band Nightwish. So if you know that band, you're familiar with. But yes, a lot of Charlotte's music is in this vein of thought. Another song she put out a couple years ago that I absolutely love is called Masterpiece. So if you type in, I'll put a link in chat actually, because yeah, you want to talk about another good song? If I can spell her name right, that'd be great. Masterpiece is her first attempt at a true pop song, per se. So, yes, I am human, I swear, YouTube. I am far more human than most of the AI slop you allow. So, if you want another really good earworm that's upbeat, that will get stuck in your head, enjoy. Good night to the Andy. May you have dreams of joy indeed. Lori, another scene. Yes, getting it all done. Well done. 274 for Louise. Congratulations. Yes. This is why I'm trying to ease into the next book myself, because the first 20K and the last 20K. So the last couple chapters and the first couple chapters, first plate, home plate stretch, whatever you want to equate it here to, fellow baseball fan, agreed. It's always the most difficult. And usually the dirtiest if you got to slide into home plate. Whew, those stains. Miranda, I just realized I said that to a baseball fan who's also writing romance. Behave, lady. Behave. Miranda, reading. Next sprint, you're doing a short walk under the moon. Yes, all here for this. All the congrats. Keep going. You can do it. Wonderful indeed. The hardest words are indeed the most rewarding. The first few paragraphs for you can be the same for the first few chapters or the first few paragraphs of certain chapters too. Agreeing with you on both of those, Louise. The first 3 chapters and then at about 80%, it's like You get to home plate, and then it's like, I made it around 3 of these guys. Can I do this? I almost didn't say guys, but you get what I mean. On that note, let's go into sprint. Is it really sprint 4? Okay. See you in sprint 4. You can do this. Drop it. She tried to get away with a piece of fuzz. There's a chunk on the floor I gotta go get. Hi. Oh, put that in my pocket so you don't gonna look at it. Hi. And that's why you don't get to play with that by yourself. You need to go get a drink of water because you got fuzz in your mouth probably still. She's fine. Okay. Okay. And this is why we don't let our children play unsupervised. So, Ron, have to say goodnight. Ooh, get some sleep. It is getting late. I am going to go ahead and do one more. So if you are stepping out, all the hugs, enjoy, rest well indeed. I have time and tasks to do a wind down sprint for sure if you would like to join in. Heather's done your schedule over for tomorrow, and then you have your most urgent thing you have to do. Had a very small amount of chocolate and a few. Woo! Enjoy your favorite treat there. That sounds amazing for the walnut halves. Yay for being in! And then Heather's getting dressed for bed. Enjoy the sleep. You've got an early morning. Yes. Bit of Peter McKinnon's, is it? Or is it McKeenan? Is it a long I or short? On how to gray out your home phone screen. Good for specific times of day. Yes, and probably for migraine sufferers too. 66 words for Linda. Congratulations with that and well done. The most important things is you started the chapter you're rewriting. Well done, well done, well done indeed. Ma'am, I feel you pawing my hand. What do you want? Meow. But if I pick you up, you jump down. Oh, you're so spoiled. Yes, you are. What else you want to tell them? And? Yeah. Is that so? What else? Meow. Meow. She's just purring away. She really, truly is. Yes, you are. You're so happy. You're so spoiled. It's your channel. I just host it. Sure, we'll let you believe that in your kitty cat brain of yours. We'll let you think that. Sure. I'm not her owner. I'm staff. See, she even agreed with me. Am I just your staff? The bringer of the food? The bringer of the TREATSs? Because you already had some of those. Well, if you lay back there behind me, they can't see your beautiful face. You are the most spoiled kitty. Okay. Okay. You enjoy being just that, ma'am. Speaking of kitties, let's check in with another cat card. If you weren't here earlier, we did get the sun. So I'm going to leave that one in. Okay. I didn't get to fully shuffle, but Six of Pentacles is the reason why the sun's coming in. Either someone's going to be charitable to you and sharing and generous, or enough sunshine's coming your way that you can give to others. That comes in multiple ways. I am looking forward to doing the Reading Expressway at the end of September for that reason. So, there's focus. There you go. That's better. I was like, camera. If you're able to this year, give back. Remember, the small ways matter as big as the big ways. A local, he's kind of a local celebrity. We'll call him a local persona. Baltimore Krampus. I've mentioned him a couple of times. The camshaft. The camshaft in the vehicle he uses to go and gather toys for children as part of his give back apparently needs replaced. And just, I'm seeing a lot of people who do really good things in their businesses going through it. So if you can't give money, word of mouth eventually gets money to them. So feel welcome to share the love. If not to a local entity, soup kitchen, so on. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. It wanted to stay up here in the foreground. It didn't want to recognize either the mid or the background there for a second after I gave the card. And I was like, okay, so that's not my eyes. That is the camera. That's Gabrielle. The camera I'm using right now is kind of the one we've done most of the channel on thus far. Yeah, this birthday was gifted to me. Birthday of 2020, 2021. So we've had 5 or 6 years on this webcam. I am looking to upgrade soon. Maybe it's an inability to distinguish between fore, mid, and backgrounds as smoothly is a hint. Maybe. Or it's just tech gremlins are tired. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and add us into a 30-minute sprint. We should be getting to max eclipse in the next hour here on the East Coast. So if you want to enjoy some moonlight before you go to bed, dare do so. My seat. My seat. My seat. My seat. My. My seat. Mine. Mine. I've been telling you for months that's my seat, so don't sass me for taking it away. You can act cute all you want. It's still my seat. You can act cute all you want. It's still my seat. I think she just said, yeah, right, Mom. On that note, everybody, go enjoy the moon if you have the ability to enjoy it in person or virtually. It's pretty outside. Be kind. Have courage. Have some style, and don't be afraid to tell the world you're a masterpiece. You're meant to be here. You matter. Always have. See you tomorrow.